Hello and welcome to today's episode of LinkedIn with Louise. We are approximately 9 days away from Christmas, which means that everyone's scrabbling around to get all the stuff done that they wanted to get done before they take a break over the festive period. Hopefully everyone takes a bit of a break anyway. And here in the UK, the schools finish on Friday, but some people aren't sending their kids into school. And I know in the US, a lot of the schools didn't even open this year. It's been a funny old year, hasn't it? Next week, basically, I think there'll be hopefully a lot less work getting done, a lot more relaxing. And actually, interestingly, you might find that you might pop over to LinkedIn a little bit more than you do in the normal working week. I have noticed that, and others have noticed this too and talked about it on LinkedIn, that actually you get quite a lot of engagement when you post something on your LinkedIn profile at the weekends. Lots of different reasons for this, but I think what I would see is that you have people who are on LinkedIn at the weekend when they are not so busy, so they have more time to engage with your content. Larger organizations, corporations, and professionals who would be encouraged to post on LinkedIn during working hours don't post at the weekend. So you've got a bit more space to be seen at the weekends. So try it out. Try posting something on a Saturday or Sunday. This past weekend I did. I don't generally post at the weekends because I just like those professions, organizations, larger corporations. I like to take the weekend off and spend it with my family. But I did actually post a poll last weekend and I got quite a good bit of engagement on it. I'd be really interested to see if I did another post next weekend and made it completely unrelated to business, LinkedIn, teaching you guys about LinkedIn, and just made it about, I don't know, Christmas gifts and see if that got more interaction. I do see people posting stuff on their LinkedIn profiles that have got nothing to do with what they do in business, and that's fine for now and again. But strategically, are you going to get more clients asking about your services if you are talking about stuff that's got nothing to do with work? Yes, we're building relationships, and that is part of it. But when you get to know somebody, yeah, of course they're interested in what you do outside of work. But you want to use LinkedIn. If you remember on last week's episode with Rhonda Peterson about, showcasing your knowledge and expertise and showing up as a thought leader on the platform. So I think it's okay to occasionally talk about stuff that's got nothing to do with what you do in your business or work, but probably not as a regular thing. That would be my advice to you. Of course, if you find otherwise, let me know. Love to hear from you. Love to hear from all my podcast listeners, actually. If we're not already connected on LinkedIn, come and connect with me and let me know you listen to the podcast. My podcast listeners hold a special little place in my business world and my heart. And I always love hearing from you. All right, so what are we going to talk about today? Today, I want to talk to you about the multitude of new features that came out on LinkedIn in 2020. And as I was noting them all down, preparing for this week's episode, I realized that I can't even cover them all because there's been so many, which is amazing. So let's start with what I'm going to do is really focus on ones that are, apologies, that's my phone has not been on silent. I apologize for that. I want to focus on those features that are more related to your personal profile. So yes, there's been new features rolled out in company pages this year as well, but we're not going to focus on that in this episode. Maybe that could be a future episode. If that's something you're interested in hearing more about. Okie dokes. So your LinkedIn personal profile. A couple of different things that changed this year. I feel like if I was standing on a stage, I'd be asking you to put your hands up if you recognize these features. So let's just pretend that we are, that I can see you and you can see me. So what new features have you noticed on your LinkedIn personal profile? Anybody got an idea? Put your hand up if you do. Okay, the about summary has to me, it has really changed this year in terms of people recognizing how it looks differently. But it's now called About. And interestingly, I think if you listen to the podcast regularly, you'll know that I talk about this being about how you can help your ideal client, target audience. When they read this section, they should resonate with it and want to connect with you as a result of that. So not a big change here, but basically LinkedIn changed the name of it to your About section. Not terribly exciting. Sorry, I'm going to get more excited about features now, I promise. I quite like to do things going down your profile. So that's why I'm starting at the top. So another thing that happened at the top of your profile this year was that LinkedIn introduced something called Open to Business. And I am a little bit on the fence about this. So I'm going to pull up LinkedIn while I'm talking to you. If you go to your profile, there's a little button on the left-hand side. So on your desktop, you have Add Profile section and the More button. There's also a section that says you're open to hiring and you're open to work. So the hiring one says share that you're hiring and attract qualified candidates. And the option below that, finding a new job, says show recruiters that you're open to work. If you click on the hiring one, it takes you to a whole page saying, select your company that you're hiring with, what's your job title, fill in all the job descriptions, and basically it takes you to sharing a job on your LinkedIn profile. Show recruiters you're open to work. Again, when you click on that, it says get started, and it says what kind of work are you open to, what kind of job titles, what locations, when do you want to start, do you want full-time, contract, part-time, internship, temporary, and you can have that added to your profile, and also LinkedIn people who are recruiting on LinkedIn become aware of that. There's also a third option on this. What this is called the introduction card, by the way, guys. This is where you've got your cover photograph, your profile photograph, your headline. To the right-hand side, you've got where you work and where you were last educated. So, this the big block at the top of your personal profile. So, what I'm talking about. So, you've also got some people have got the option for adding in providing services, but not everybody. So I don't know if you have it or not, but if I have it, I have the option, and I've got content strategy, marketing consulting, lead generation, content marketing. And it says, would you like to receive free business inquiries? And I have ticked yes, which means that allows LinkedIn members I'm not connected to message me for free. So they don't need to use LinkedIn's internal in-mail credits to send me a message if we're not connected. We're going down a wee bit of detail here, but in-mail credits are when you have a LinkedIn premium profile, you are given, I think it's 50 or 30 free in-mail credits, which means you can send a LinkedIn message for free to anybody on the platform using these in-mail credits. If you are not using premium and you don't have in-mail credits, and there's somebody in your network you want to send a message to, but they are not connected to you, or they're not connected to somebody you're connected to, you can't send those people a message. So that's where in-mail credits come into play. I don't use them at all. You guys know I prefer to connect with people and send them a message to say why I'm connecting with them. I very rarely, if I'm not sure I ever have sent in mail to somebody that I haven't sent a connection request to. I haven't. I'm just thinking, no, I haven't. So, so that is, we started talking about the open to business section there. We went quite a bit down a bit of detail there. But these are all new features. These are features on your LinkedIn profiles. I think you're going to find them useful. All right, what is next? Pronouncing your name, another new feature. And I think the guy in LinkedIn who brought this out is called Joseph. Ironically, I can't remember his surname, but we are now connected on LinkedIn, so I see his posts. And this was brought out for people who want to connect with somebody, get on a call with them, and didn't want to not know how to pronounce their name. As somebody who lives on the island of Ireland, I find this really, really a brilliant feature because there's lots of Irish names that other people don't know how to pronounce. So it's a great tool for that. But the other thing that I do on this, and I teach people to do for this, is you've got 10 seconds to record your name, which is actually quite a long time. So I have a recording there and it says something along the lines of Louise Brogan, LinkedIn consultant working with SMEs and professionals who want to use LinkedIn for business, something like that. Can't remember exactly. So you can actually leave a little message on there and not just your name if you want to. So it's a nice little extra bonus, if you like. How you do that is you have to do it on your mobile app. You can't add it on your desktop. Okay. So that's quite a lot of little new features just on your introductory card alone. So I'd love to know if you're using them and which ones you like. All right, then going down your profile, what's next? You've got the featured section, which is one of my favorite sections. And this shows up underneath your about section. And I've done quite a lot. I've talked quite about this year. So if you want to go and read a blog about it over my website, louisebrogan.com, just type in featured section. You'll find the link to that and we'll put it in the show notes as well. But you can feature LinkedIn posts, your LinkedIn posts, LinkedIn articles, links to web content, which can be your website, your own blog post, your videos on video hosting websites. I have told lots of people what I would do here is create a 60-second introductory video to yourself and your services, put it onto YouTube unlisted, and then put it into your features section here on LinkedIn. You can also upload photographs, documents, and presentations. And it's really featuring what it is that you want to be really well known for. That's what the purpose of this section. And it's definitely one of my favorites. And a lot of people are not using this section yet. So definitely go and have a look at it and see what you could add into your featured section. Okay, so just scrolling on down through the rest of your profile, I believe that is probably the biggest updates for the year. Oh, under skills and endorsements, you can take a skills quiz. So you can have, this has been updated since I last looked at it. You can have industry knowledge and you can have tools and technology. Tools and technology is things like .NET Framework, Adobe Photoshop, Microsoft Outlook, all the Microsofts, of course, because of course LinkedIn's owned by Microsoft, remember. QuickBooks, that's interesting for a lot of my accountancy friends. You can add QuickBooks skills here, that's great. SharePoint, SolidWorks, Visio, oh gosh, that takes me back to my days working as a project manager. WordPress, definitely worth having a look and seeing what's in there. And then industry knowledge for my industry, it's got agile methodologies and machine learning. I'm not doing those. Thanks. Anyway. So yeah, go and have a look at those and see if there's any that apply to you. You know, the accountants, you should definitely be doing the skills quiz in QuickBooks, that's for sure. Okay, so that is all of the options that are updated that I can think of for today for inside your LinkedIn profile. If you want help with your LinkedIn profile, remember I do offer my LinkedIn profile review service. And that is where when you book it, I will record a walkthrough of your profile and recommendations on what to update and change to give you really the best chance of getting found by your target audience and ideal clients. Go and check that out over at louisebrogan.com/work with me. And see if that is something you have of interest. It's definitely one of the starting points for a lot of people who want to work with me. It's affordably priced and it makes a massive impact on your visibility on LinkedIn. If you want to have a look at the recommendations on testimonials from people who've booked it before, go look at my recommendation section on my LinkedIn profile. Okay. Now, that is a lot of the updates about your actual profile. So what are the new features in the newsfeed? First of all, they changed a lot of the graphics and how LinkedIn looks. I like them. I like the little icons and logos